And there it was complete disidentification with the body. It was seen, observed perfectly, but there was no. Yeah.
Great. Well, what's interesting is that the nature of realization is something which isn't fixed, because the idea of self-realization is that we move into a kind of fixed state. That isn't the case, though. It's just that self-realization is really just an end of the mistaken identity. It's the end of believing ourselves to be the human being in time and space. And even though that experience is still available to us, we know that it is just a mode of experience. It's like a part we're playing. It's a part in a play. But where it's more flexible is in seeing that the way we can experience is more like a sliding scale between impersonal being and the personal mode, because we can regulate that. Once we've seen that the sovereignty of our infinite nature exists in impersonal being, then we can see that the degree of investment in the personal realm is something we can regulate. So the dualistic system tries to convince us that we're locked in this subject-object mode. We really are a human being. Lots of people believe that wholeheartedly, but actually you can regulate the degree of investment, and you can regulate it on your terms in a selective way. So, for instance, if there are more challenging experiences, then remaining as impersonal being is the best option. But if there are experiences which are enriching in the dualistic realm, so things like personal love, compassion, unity, then we can have the full-on dualistic version. So we can experience, well, really what tends to happen with realization is we become familiar with unity consciousness, and then we become aware that actually unity consciousness is like an ocean of universal love. And that ocean of universal love begins to flow into the personal realm. So the love being experienced in the personal realm has the magnitude of the ocean behind it. But it's something which is selected because you're the sovereign being, and you can regulate the degree of investment in any of the experiences in the human realm. So there could be invitations into fear, anxiety, doubt, grief, any of those. But when you know they're invitations, then you'll sense a feeling of contraction arising. That contraction is a form of intuition. It's saying, are you sure you wish to go here, Anna? Because you don't need to. You can remain in neutrality and unity. So you don't need to invest your energy in those aspects. But in the higher aspects of the dualistic realm, in love, unity, compassion, then we can have those experiences, because they have a feeling of expansion which accompanies them. So again, really, it's that those experiences are more in alignment with the body of wisdom, with our infinite impersonal nature, rather than the personal mode anyway.
So that would be the experience of, let's say, internal quiet, and that you have a conversation with someone and you see that they also start like getting in touch with that within themselves. That's the heightened mode of the personal realm, is what you're saying.
Yes. So in this conversation, because the nature of the infinite being is present, in that we're both familiar with the neutrality and effortlessness and impersonal nature of our infinite nature, then it's non-competitive. So it's simply that there are forms which are appearing. So there can be some ideas, some feelings, and they can be shared, because in this moment we're actually existing as the field of beingness, rather than assuming the mode of separate human beings. So it becomes deeper, and it's quite interesting the way things are happening, because some people have offered to help to set up some group meetings, and I'm really interested to see how they go, because in one-to-one conversations, there's the existing as the infinite field of awareness, and then the forms are arising within that. So the conversations are conducted in unity. So even a simple example. So on this computer screen, there are two images. The larger one is the image of Anna, and then in the corner, there's a little image of David. But actually, it's very obvious that they're equally known, that you can't say, oh, that one's me and that one's something else. There's the simplicity of seeing, it's almost like the screen of infinite being upon which there are these forms arising, and they're arising in unity. But what seems to be happening is the opportunity to experience, well, you could say it's the morphogenetic field to a degree, but I'm very interested to see how things develop when there's a focusing on unity by a larger number of people. Because I had an invitation to do a little group last year, and it was only about 23 people, and quite a few of them had already realized their true nature. So it was a very powerful group, because it was just resting as the infinite being. It wasn't a group which was based in the seeking mode or in the conceptual mode. So, there'll probably be a little bit of time for questions, but it's more to do with the deepening of the experience or the potential of unity consciousness, and just seeing where that goes.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. I'm very happy that you're doing that, and
Yes.
so it definitely can work in my experience.
Mm.
Um,
Well, lots of people I have conversations with, they're experiencing unity consciousness because it's just really simple. It's just unity consciousness is present when the subject object mode is turned off. And it's always present. It's just that the subject object mode is overlaid on unity. But it's been quite fascinating just listening to people describing unity consciousness in some of the conversations, because it's very tangibly present. And there's a lady I spoke with a couple of weeks ago who lives in Germany, and she was saying how she travels to work on the metro, and she uses it as an opportunity for unity
I
consciousness.
heard that. Beautiful.
It was great. And so it's that sense of accessibility too, I think, because so many spiritual teachings are in the mode of seeking, and then everyone is showing up as a seeker. But actually, when unity consciousness is just seen to be fully present, then everyone is showing up as the infinite field of awareness and infinite field of beingness. And that's will be quite an interesting experience.